So we've talked a lot about how people don't like to be corrected. So how do we shift the discussion from correcting people's misinformed ideas about music therapy and start trying to make connections with them?
I guess, one of the things that I like to think about is that we should assume that most people that are misrepresenting music therapy are unaware that they're doing so. It's not being done maliciously. It's just because they don't know. And that, within my own self, kind of shifts my energy about it so that I'm not so defensive.
I agree. We tend to take it personally almost.
Yeah.
And think it's some sort of a affront or attack on our profession, and it's really not. And so one of the things that I do is rather than react, I become curious, and I want to investigate and do some research, do due diligence. So instead of responding to a website or a post right away, I might click on the link, Google the names, find out about the people involved, what's their history, what's their mission, what are they doing exactly. And then the more I can find out, I might find out that it's, of course, maybe it's not music therapy, but that if I do the research, it'll help me define it for them when we do start to interact more. So once I get a feeling for who they are, then I might reach out and actually make that connection and start a dialogue.
Wonderful.
And we do just want to help people. That's part of our job. And so doing our due diligence and finding out that information and making that connection, then we can come to them with solutions for a problem they're not aware they have until we approach them about it. So whether it's different wording or if it's actually hiring a music therapist, and now you don't have to change any wording or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. One of the biggest parts of advocacy is the idea of having a seat at the table with the people who are the influencers or the decision makers and having a voice. But the other part is to be able to persuade and tell a compelling story and to get them to try and, agree with what you're saying or to be a supporter and back whatever you're trying to advocate. And if you're not building that compelling case, building a relationship with the person, it's very hard to make the connections. And so when we think about correcting people, that it's very hard to build relationships if we've just corrected them.
Yeah, especially in a public forum. And
absolutely.
Nobody likes to be called out online, especially because it's about shame at that point. You're shaming somebody, even if you're correcting them. And so I would say, even if you feel compelled to make a recommendation of a alignment of words and actions so that their actions and their words are better aligned. And I think that's a great way to frame it. Do it privately. Don't do it in a public forum.
And if you're unsure about how to do that, it's really important for all of our members to remember that they can connect with one of us and that we can help them with that. Because if they really aren't sure how to go about approaching a situation they're uncomfortable with, we can help them turn it into a connection instead of a correction.
That's a great point. Every region has a regional professional advocacy representative. We do have that information on the AMTA website, but also I believe it's on all of the regional websites as to how to connect with your representative. If you're still having difficulty, I think all they have to do is connect with their president, their regional president, to find out who their representative is. Is that correct?
Right. We're here to help. We're happy to help. With this, we want connections and positive experiences.
Absolutely. I think another thing that's important is that we want to avoid a person who potentially is misrepresenting the field to be contacted by 10 to 20 music therapists. We would much prefer to have one person do that connection because it becomes inundating and that person may feel offended by that many people connecting with them. So we want to make sure that we have one person be the person to connect with them. So the importance of reaching out to that regional representative so they can be the basic coordinator and make sure that there aren't multiple points of connection is great.
know that we have a consistent and kind response that will set the tone
Absolutely.
for all the future interactions with that individual or agency.
Absolutely.
Thank you.